Dre, I didn't have a question, but now I just got to ask, what's the reaction to the box?
Well, there's a couple reactions. Number one, Evan Mobley had 20 points. I don't like that. He's a stud, though, but I think we can do a better job there. Then also, just looking at, we didn't turn the ball over much more than them, but the points off turnovers that we did have, like those are more ways that we can help our defense. So just a couple things I was looking at.
Steph's, obviously been doing this for a decade or so, but are you seeing him slam the door, in these close games, with more force than ever? It just seems like as a scorer late in these wins, he's really kind of being very aggressive.
Yes, but I think what I'm taking away from that is the reads that he is setting all of this stuff up. You remember down the stretch where Loon set the flat screen and he walked into the three with Jared Allen? He set that up. And so I think, it's not so much what he's doing for me, as, I think we've seen it for years, but I think it's how he's doing it and how he's putting guys in the spots that he wants them in. That's what I'm impressed with. The growth there is absolutely amazing. You always ask yourself, how can one be that good and continue to grow? And it's those small things like that. And then ultimately they show up in, the way he is closing in games. But those are the things that I've been paying attention to.
Just specifically on that play you mentioned, just from a, basketball perspective, what did he do there?
Well, he came to the bench and he was saying, hey, everybody just space out. I'm going to pull the ball closer to half court, because he's yelling at the big to stay down the floor. It's like JB just yelled at Evan Mobley to stay in the paint. And so to notice all of those things and actually get exactly to the exact shot that you want to get to, and then make it is a whole different thing. A lot of people can get that and realize, it's going to be there, but to actually set that up and then go deliver is very impressive.
Hey, Draymond, you mentioned Evan Mobley, but they also have Jared Allen, 2 7-footers. What's it like dealing with all that length on both ends, but trying to score against that?
Trying to score against that length is tough because they make it very tough to get in the paint. That was one of the keys to one of the things that we spoke about with their defense is just how tight their shell is. And it starts with those two guys. And they've been absolutely impressive. They've done a great job of pairing two young bigs that can grow together. I think, they have some special brewing for sure.
Dre, it seemed like Jordan found a bit of a rhythm. What do you think worked for him tonight?
I think he was getting off the ball and getting it back, moving side to side, moving the defense from side to side. I think, there are times where he's coming down and he's getting screens and the whole defense is just loading up. So having the ability to swing the ball from side to side and then he catch on the backside and start attacking, I think that's good for him. And it's, it's something that he has to grow into. You have that first great year like he had last year, and then teams study you all summer long in preparation for that following season. I think that's what's happened to him. And now he's in that period of figuring out, okay, how do I score? How do I get the shots and the looks that I want to get to? And it's a process, but I think he's starting to figure that out. I'm going to get off the ball, move to the opposite side of the floor. Once the ball reverses back, now I can attack. Now I can come off the screen and things start to open up for me. So it's just, something that you have to go through and growing in this league. And it's, it's good for him overall. I think he's starting to adjust to that, and it's good to see.
What are they doing? Are you seeing more press up on them or more help?
I think they're definitely pressing up, but they're loading up. Like when he has the ball, the entire defense is loading up. That's a compliment to him. That shows the fear that defenses have for you. And now his next step is to learn how to use that against them. I think that's one of the things Steph is best at. He's willing to get off the ball and move and get it back. And once you get it back, it's harder for the defense to load up as if you're just coming down the floor, calling for a screen or trying to get into your back. You moving from side to side, then it's harder for those guys to close those gaps. And Jordan's cat quick, so you get somebody going to side, he see a gap, he can get through it pretty fast.
You got things going tonight with a pair of assists, one to Steph, one to Clay, both resulting in 3-pointers, and you finished the night with a season-high 13. What about the flow of the game, or maybe it's something you saw in the Cavs defense that allowed you to get going as a distributor?
Well, they're playing, as great as those two traditional bigs are, there are some things that I see with those bigs when you're playing two traditional bigs that I think I can take advantage of. And tonight, was able to get off to a quick start, push the tempo. I think getting the pace at where we wanted it at was key. And so I wanted to try to force that issue in the very beginning. But overall, I always say, you get assists, a guy got to make a shot. So it's a credit to our guys. They were knocking them down right out the gate, and was able to have a good night as far as distributing the ball went.
You guys only went 8 deep in the second half. One of those 8, Anthony Lamb, who's clearly in the rotation at this point. What is he giving you?
He's giving us incredible energy. He really understands and know how to play the game of basketball. He can knock the shot down. He's tough. He makes small plays. He's always in the right spot. He's not afraid to guard a big man. He's not afraid to throw his body into bigs. And so I think it's great, and got to give a guy like that credit. He came in here in training camp late and earned the spot that he's earned, and he's taking full advantage of the minutes that he's been getting. So it's great to see. And, that is a guy who, since I've met him, he's in here early, 2-3 hours early every day, getting his work in, and it's paying off. And you love to see that happen for guys that work like that.
101 points for Cleveland tonight. Was this your best defensive game as a team?
I think it was our best defensive game. I thought we were all locked in. I thought we were both units were locked in on that side of the ball. I thought for the most part, we did do a great job of defending without fouling. Now, they still shot 26 free throws, so you can make of that what you may, but I thought we did a great job of defending without fouling.
Draymond, you always expect Steph to be the go-to guy, and he was again tonight. But is there any level of concern that he is going to be in a position where he might get burned out maybe, or just, where there's just too much expected of him?
You feel like he ever burned out before?
No.
Why now?
I know he's going to play well for you guys. I just wonder if there's already a concern, though, that you guys might, just feel that he's, somebody else will hopefully help pick up the slack offensively scoring-wise.
I think that'll happen. Jordan 18 tonight, he's finding his rhythm. Weeks 20 weeks, been playing really good offensively. And Clay's is still coming along, but what I did love was Clay defensively was absolutely incredible. And that was huge for us. But, no, it's not something that I'm worried about or that we worried about. I mean, at the end of the day, Steph is going to carry a majority of the load offensively. That's just who he is and what he does, and we've been successful that way. So it's no need to panic or get worried now, but I think guys are starting to find their rhythm and find their spots, and it'll all come together. But it's a process, and we understand that process, but I don't think he'll have to exert as much energy offensively as we continue to move forward as he's had. But in saying that, we were in a rut, and we lost 5 games in a row. And so in order to pull yourself out of that, you have to bring that type of intensity to the game. But, you start to win a couple games and the game starts to get easier for you. So I think that's what will happen. And, we'll all continue to get better in our spots and figuring, everybody figuring out offensively what their role is and what they need to bring to this team.
Trey, what do you think of the Cavs? 8-1 start. They lose 3 in a row. You mentioned the too big situation, which we debate all the time, and the ways you kind of alluded to how you can exploit that. Just how dangerous and how good do you think they can be?
I think they can be really good and really dangerous. They're still, Ricky Rubio's still not there, who I think will be huge for them. So, they're putting it together. I think when you look at a young Darius Garland, all-star last year, will probably be an all-star again this year and for the foreseeable future. You pair him with another all-star and Donovan Mitchell, who is playing at an MVP level this year. Karis LeVert is doing what Karis LeVert has always done since he got to this league and is healthy. And the two bigs, Mobley and Allen, they're doing a great job. And I think the resurgence of K-Love and how he's playing this year is huge for them. He is a key part of what they do, especially, once they go to that bench unit. And so I think you got to give K-Love a lot of credit, just the way he's found what looks like that joy in the game again and is helping lead that young team. So I think that's a very good team, a very well-coached team. JB is a very good coach. Got Luke over there on the sideline with him, who obviously one of my favorite coaches that I've had in my career, and I think they're really putting it together. And I know everyone was saying like, "Oh man, they're a few years away." It don't look like they believe that right now. It looked like they believe right now is the time for us to go, and I love that. And so I think it's a very promising young team. I think they've done a good job of putting all those pieces back together, and they're going to be a squad to be reckoned with for a long time for sure.
What do you think of the delay of game?
The delay of game was called by the same person who gave me a text for saying, if I talk to you like that, I'll get fined. And I got a text, so it's interesting. Very interesting.